Hi bakers, my name is Nissa and I'm from the Big London Bake. Today we are going to be making ANZAC Biscuits. ANZAC Biscuits are a favourite of mine. They are Australian and everybody learns to make them when they're growing up. They are a great biscuit because they use a lot of pantry staples. So we only need a few things to make these today. We'll need a large bowl for mixing. We need a spoon, a tray with lined parchment on it, as well as a saucepan. Now I've weighed out all my ingredients. I've got my dry and then I've got my wet, which is butter and golden syrup, already in the saucepan. So you can melt your butter and golden syrup directly in the saucepan over a medium-high heat on the hob. Now while that's melting, I'm going to get my large bowl and add my dry ingredients. Now I have got 150 grams of plain flour. I have 90 grams of rolled oats. Make sure they're rolled oats. Instant doesn't work very well, but if that's what you've got, you can use those. I have got 85 grams of coconut. And then I've got 155 grams of sugar. As you can see, I ran out of caster sugar, so I've used some golden sugar. Any type of granulated sugar will be fine. White, caster, golden caster, it will all work. So I'm going to add all of this into the bowl, and using my spoon, I'm going to give it a quick toss together. Now, while I am waiting for my butter and golden syrup to melt, it won't take very long, I have got half a teaspoon of bicarb here. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it from my water filter, and that's just to have the bicarb dissolve into the water. And then I'll just set this aside to use. Later. So as we wait for the butter, you can give it a little stir to help it melt. And we just need it all melted. It doesn't need to be boiling, just melt it. So now you can see that all my butter has melted into the golden syrup. There's a few little lumps there, but they'll melt out pretty quickly. So what I need to do next is make sure that my oven is on 160 degrees. Now that everything is melted in there, I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit, and I'm going to add in my water and bicarb. And this will fizz a little bit in the saucepan, not particularly dramatically though. Then we take it off the hob, turn off the heat, and pour the whole thing into our dry ingredients. Then we just mix to combine. So we're looking for an evenly mixed dough. It should all be wet and sort of starting to clump together. It doesn't get particularly sticky. It should all sort of hold well. And then all we need to do is portion out. Now, depending on how big you want your ANZAC biscuits to be, you can go for the size of sort of a golf ball. These will spread, so you need to be aware of that when you line your tray. I go a little bit smaller, probably about a tablespoon size, and then just place those on my tray. If it won't roll together, just press them into the ball. Sometimes the oats do that. All right, bakers, our biscuits are now out of the oven. You will want to let them cool for a little bit before you remove them from the tray, and keep them in an airtight container. They are delicious with tea or coffee, and even just on their own. If you make this recipe, make sure you tag us on Instagram at @thebig_bakes and follow us for more recipes to bake at home.